All right, all right, all right. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Here we are. Good to see everybody this evening. All right. I'm a little bit smaller tonight, just due to the fact that we have some website information that we want to share. I don't want to knock that over and break it. Sorry about that. So, with that being said, tonight's video is going to be about the Golf Channel Amateur Tour, and that again is presented by Golf Galaxy, and we are here at On the Screws Golf to go over our next upcoming event, which is event number 4 of the year, and that will be held in Phoenix, Arizona on January 19th. So, let's get to it. Here we go. All right. Here we go. So, as you've seen this before, the Golf Amateur Tour is the #1 amateur tour in North America. It's powered by the Golf Channel and NBC Sports. It's authentic tour style experience. Flights for all ages and skill levels. Move over a little bit. Get out of the way. Elite courses. Here we go. Elite courses across the United States, Canada, Puerto Rico. And you can play where the pros play. So, with that being said, let's move over right to where we're going to play starting on January 19th. So, we're going to play some desert golf, okay? So let's take a look real quick at the 2019 Golf Channel Amateur Tour Hard Card Tours of Golf, all right? The rules of golf. So you can see that it's all governed by the USGA and the RA, and we're going to follow all local rules are in effect for all Golf Channel AM events. And then you can see the applicable tour notices to the players, the local rules and conditions. So you can pick those up at the website, at the tour clubhouse, etc. But I just want to go over a few things here. Pace of play in the lead group. If you get behind, you can get yourself a 2-stroke penalty. And then, of course, failure to finish under the maximum allotted time for 18 holes, you can get a separate 2-stroke penalty. So when you're playing with playing partners, not only do you have to police yourselves, but you also have to police those you're playing with to make sure that they keep an adequate pace of play. Now, this is amateur golf. This isn't professional golf where you're just striping it down the middle every single time. We have wayward shots, right? All of us do in the amateur golf. Could go out of bounds, could go in a lake. You don't understand the ruling. You have to play multiple balls, etc. So it can take some time. So I think that's very important that all of us understand that in the event as well as those who are spectators. Following groups, you also may be assessed a 2-stroke penalty, failing to complete both 9-hole or 18-hole within 14 minutes of the group in front of you and over the maximum allotted time. Wow. 14 minutes. You have got to keep up. So it's really important that we do a really good job of keeping ourselves in check as well as those who we're playing with. Caddies and spectators, you can't ride in the same cart. You're allowed to be there, but caddies or spectators may, on a space available basis, ride into the starting hole from the putting green to the next tee or sit in the cart while parked at a tee box or putting green, but not during the actual event between shots. Wrong putting green, so if you hit a tee shot like a tee shot or a second shot or whatever it may be and you scull it or slice it, hook it, and it's on someone else's green, obviously if you're not taking it appropriately off the green to the collar, you can incur a 2-stroke local rule penalty as well. Loose impediments. Teeing grounds, obviously playing from the wrong tee marker carries 2-stroke penalty. Teeing off on the next hole is a disqualification, okay? And that must be corrected prior to teeing off on the next hole. 10-minute tease time starting. Cell phones, electronics, you can't use those. You can use a distant measuring device, or a range finder as we call them, but you can't have slope or wind, etc. on those devices. Doubt as to procedure. Obviously, you're supposed to play multiple balls, play them both out, keep both scores, and then when you come in at the end of the round, you'll go to the pro shop. The local pro will give you a ruling, and you'll play one of those two balls. You'll add the score onto the card. You'll then sign your score, get it attested, and then you'll have a completed round. All that other stuff is pretty straightforward, but I just wanted to show you how extensive it is and how important it is that you can get these two-stroke penalties if you're not following the appropriate venue rules, the local rules, or the PGA Tour rules, or the Golf Channel rules. So there's almost like 5 sets of rules that you have to be familiar with when you're attempting these type of venue and programs. Okay, so let's go to the actual roster of players that are signed up currently. And geez, oh man, look at all those people. I don't know how many there are, but let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36, 38, 40, 42, 46, 48, 50. So we are at 50 players currently for the Papago Open or golf course. So, well, it's actually Papago Championship event. All right. So what I wanted to do on this, obviously you can see all the golfers here. You can filter by a player or something. But what I wanted to do is concentrate on those who are in my category or my grouping. So right now we have Gene Dorsch, and I wish I could, like right here, Gene Dorsch. There you go. He is 54 years of age. His rank currently in the Arizona Tour is rank of 8. He has won 85 points through 1 tournament so far in this year. Okay. If you want to look at his profile real quick, and his point standings. 85 points, ranked 8, played 1 event, no first, seconds, or third, tied for 4th, and he shot 81 in his one and only event this year so far. Okay. So you see Gene Dorsch here, okay, right here. You can come down to Edwards, then Engen, Fern, Fisher. Oh, we're not in the right page. Sorry. Got to go back and filter it because we're in Hogan 8 to 9, 11.9. So Dorsch, Fisher, Henderson, Mitten, and Morris. Those are the 5 individuals that I'll be playing against. If you just come across here, Gene is at a 10.7 handicap. Andrews, 9.2. Henderson does not have an established handicap yet because he hasn't played enough rounds to. You have to have at least 4 to get your handicap. Dave Mitten is a 9.8. I do not have it because I've only played 3 events so far. I'll need a 4th to get a established handicap. And then you go to Jones, and then Palmer, Sarazin, senior champions, senior Hogan, and these are people that are in the category of 55 years of age and older, but still are in the handicap range of 8 to 11.9. So if you take a look at Jerry Browning, he's 9.2. You have a 10.9, 14.8, 9.8, 10.6, 12.4, 13.8, 13.8, 12.2, and that's it. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. In the senior Hogan, you have 5 up here in Hogan. So 9 and 5 is 14. So it more than likely will be playing against all 14 individuals. So sometimes they have a separate division, but if you don't have enough players, like 8 or more in one division, they combine the regular Hogan and the senior Hogan. It's usually reversed. This time it's not, where you have enough Hogan players, but you don't have enough senior Hogan. But obviously here in Arizona, retirement, state, you're having a significant amount of senior Hogans, 9 of them, as compared to just Hogan players. So we'll probably have to play against all 14 of those individuals. So we'll have to place 1, 2, or 3 against those 14 individuals. But let's take a look real quick at just the regular Hogan in case we get to play against one of these 5. So Andrew Fisher is 48 years of age. He's ranked 2nd in the Hogan Tour of the Arizona Tour with 165 points. He's played 2 tournaments. And let's take a look at his point standing. He's come in 3rd once and tied for 4th in the 2nd. So he's shot 79 and 81. So he's a consistent player right around that 7 to 9 range. So we're going to have to be on our game to be consistent as well. All right, so that was Andrew Fisher. We're going to have to filter again. Now we'll go to Henderson, Paul Henderson. Take a look at Paul. Look at his profile. He's age of 32. His rank is 12th in the Arizona and the Hogan. He's got 40 points, and his point standing is he's finished 9th with a score of 89 or a plus 17 to par. So that gave him 40 points. So they must have had 15 or 16 participants in that event. So, all right. That was that was Paul. So let's go to Dave Mitten from the Denver Tour. His rank is number 1 in the Denver Tour for this this Hogan grouping of handicap 8 to 11.9. 375 points. He's got 1/3, no first, no seconds, played 3. Now, this is what's interesting. He played the Disney Amateur Fall Stroke Play, and that was a major, what they consider a major on the tour here. He's also played in Champions Gate 2020 Kickoff Classic. I don't think that was a major, but the Disney Amateur was. So if you finished 1, 2, or 3 in your flight at a major, you automatically make it into qualification for the year-end race to the Nationals. So if I am correct that Disney Amateur was a major, he is already entitled to go to Portland, Oregon in September to participate in the Hogan Division 8.0 to 11.9 handicap division. So he shot 83.78 for those 2 days. He has rounds of 81, 87, and 89. So 4 events played with 1 top 3 finish. All right, very good. Nice job. Now we'll go to our grouping. Mr. Morris here. I'm from the Pittsburgh area division. Hogan 8 to 11.9. I am 55. I should be in the senior Hogan, but you know how it goes. We're young enough to still hit the ball far enough to play with the young boys still. So we've played 3 events. We're ranked 1 in the Pittsburgh division. We have 1 first, no seconds, no thirds. A first, we were tied for 4th, but we lost in the scorecard playoff, so we got 5th. And then this tour, this tied for 10th at the last event we played. I was gonna come in 2nd with par. Instead, I went quad bogey. Took an 8 on a par 4, and then I took a 6 on a par 3. So I went quad triple, 7 over in the last 2 holes to shoot plus 12. And finished in 10th instead of 2nd. So, absolutely nasty. But that's what happens when you want to take a look at the card. Does it come up? Nope, it doesn't. Oh, here, the division, flight, and scores. Plus 10. Or plus 12. I don't know why it said plus 10. Look at that right there. Oh, I made a 5. Look at that. Not a 6, a 5. Look at that. Because I started on the front. Then I came to the back. And I made 8 and 5. Oh, what a terrible 4, 5, 6 over on the last 2 holes to shoot 44. 40, 44, 84. Oh, so disturbing. But you know what? That's the way it works sometimes. All right, let's do a couple more people in the senior bracket just to see where they're at. So let's take a look at the 9.2, the 9.8. All right, so let's take a look at Jerry Browning. 55, rank 22nd in the Arizona Tour. Let's take a look. He's only played 1 event. And position 20, shot 87. Okay. Okay. We'll keep an eye on Jeff. And then the other 9.8 is Jack Haley. Take a look. He's 59. His rank is 9th. 2 tournaments, 90 points. No first, seconds, or thirds, but tied for 7th and 8th. So he's consistent. 80, 86, right in that range. So he has the chance to shoot in the 70s as well as in the mid to upper 80s. So depends on the day, right? Are you hitting it off the tee? Are you getting up and down for putts, etc.? So just like all of us, that's why we're 8 to 11.9 handicappers. All right, very good. All right, excellent, excellent, excellent. All right, so that is where it's going to be right there. 50 contestants as it stands today. 9 senior Hogans, which we'll probably have to go against, and 5 Hogans under 55. And that'll be 14 total in our grouping for now. So we have a whole nother month or so until we get to the actual event. Let's take a look at the scorecards. So this is, let me see if I can zoom in on this a little bit for you guys. There we go. Just showing you that we'll probably play the whites at 6,300, which is a short course. And then if you take a look at the blues, you're going 67.71. So, and then if you go black, it's 7,300. That'd be a nice little challenge right there. All right. Next is the actual scorecard. So you can see hole number 1. You're starting off right out of the gate. If you're on number 1 or number 10, you're starting. All the contestants are starting off with the opportunity to make birdie, right? It's a par 5. So if you can hit down the middle, hit it up, hit it on, give yourself a chance at birdie or an easy par. So let's take a look at hole number 1 from the white, 530. So that's really no easy task. So we may be starting out with a 5 in our groups. If you can make a 4 there, that, my friends, would possibly give you a absolutely leg up on the competition for sure. So that'd be 1 on the field if you can make birdie there. Hole number 2, 311 yards. You know, from the whites, I don't see a picture whether it's dog leg, water, desert, I don't know. So, but if you can hit it down there, 250, 260, right? You got 60 yards in. I mean, shouldn't be too bad. Sand wedge in. So driver sand wedge. 424, par 4. Hopefully you hit it down the middle and have about a, 150, 160 yards in. So 7 iron, 8 iron in. And then number 4, 195, nice little test. First par 3, nice little tester at 200 yards. So we'll be using probably a 4 iron hybrid to take it in there at a 185 distance and see if we can get it on the green. And then moving over to another par 4, 328. Again, not a real long hole, so probably pitching wedge after a driver. 371, say maybe 9 iron after a driver. Here we go with the number 3 handicap hole, which is 378. So you'd have to figure out that 378, not very long, but probably water or a split fairway or elevated or descending green. So some type of trickery to give you a handicap of 3 on a 378-yard hole. So we'll have to look at that. Probably guarded by bunkers and trees, etc. Hole number 8, 195, another 195-yard par 3. So those surely are true tests. So you're going to have to, in my opinion here, we're going to have to really be on our long iron or our hybrid game. Make sure that we get it on the green and get a couple putts. And then a nice tester, par 5, 464. And when I say tester, meaning that you have to hit it in the middle, so you give yourself a chance to hit that 3-wood up there within 30 yards and then chip it really close and just have a nice tap in for birdie. So that right there is a real opportunity missed if we don't make birdie on number 9. Moving to number 10, 491. That's kind of that mid-range where, okay, hit it down the middle, hit the 3-wood down to 100 yards, get it on the green within, 10, 15 feet of the hole. Try to make a birdie putt. If not, get the par, and let's move on to number 11. So handicap number 14, so not that big of a deal, 146 yards. So you're going to use a 9 iron there, maybe a choke down 8 iron, par 3. Now take a look at this. 293-yard par 4. So this is where the rubber meets the road. Do you use a driver and hit it down there to 20 yards and then try to do a Texas wedge or a little bump and run? Or what do? Do you hit the 3-wood to 240 yards and have a 50-yard shot? It all depends on what the layout of the course is going to look like, what the wind direction is, how hard the ground is, etc. So more than likely on these type of shots, I take 3-wood, take the driver out of my hands, don't get in trouble, put yourself at 100 yards where you know the distance and you have a nice full swing and you can get it on the green guaranteed and make a nice attempt at a birdie. So that's what we'll probably do there. Hole number 13, 365. Again, hit it down there, 260, 270. You got anywhere between 100 to 90 yards in. Same thing on 14. 15 is a par 5. So, 508. Again, don't make mistakes off the tee. Get it in the middle. Get it down there with a 3-wood. Hit it on the green. Get yourself a birdie and or a par and move on. 15, number 12, handicap, middle of the road, 402 yards, right? You're hitting at 260. You got 142 in. That's like a full 9 iron, half an 8 iron in there. So we'll just take it as it goes. Hit it down the middle. And then look at hole number 17, 214-yard par 3. It's probably collected by either water and or bunkers. So the 8th hardest hole because of the distance. And if you want to make it even more difficult, throw a few bunkers and some water around it and give yourself a chance to really make a big number. So I'll be looking out for that one on number 17. And then finally finish it up at 407, which is a nice little finishing hole that is a ranked 4th hardest handicap hole in the course for a total of 6,382-yard par 72. So 36 on the front, 36 on the back, and shoot anywhere between 5 to 8 over, right? So 77 to 80, and put yourself right in the hunt to be in first or second. So that's the plan with that golf course. Now let's take a look at some of the pictures here real quick. So that is a nice scenic landscape of the hills, the little mountains there. Nice, beautiful, sunny. That looks in pretty good condition on the fairway. A little burnt on the rough there. Big bunkers, big greens, so that's good. Little water in front there. Okay, so that could be a one of the harder handicap holes because you have a bunker at the back left and then you have the water in the front. Obviously, the back bunker is to catch anybody who doesn't want to hit it short in the water, so they're going to take the extra club, hit it perfect, and they hit it too far and it goes in the bunker, right? So that's the reason for that catch bunker back there. So that's probably one of the more, it's probably 1 through 6 hardest handicaps right there, so you can't tell whether it's a par 5 or a par 4, par 3, etc. A little bit burned out picture here, but you can see straight away not too much danger with trees, which is obviously something you wouldn't expect in the desert, right? Trees, maybe cactus and things like that, but they have some trees here, so keep it away from the trees. We should be able to get up and around the course pretty straightforward. That's a really gorgeous picture. That looks like more like a par 5. This is probably the picture from after your tee shot, and then you're going to probably have to hit it up there with the 3-wood up close, chip on, make a putt. So you have all those bunkers up to the right up there. This one on the left, just in front of the foreground, is probably a catch bunker if you hit it too far off the tee shot. So we'll have to be careful with that. And then this is probably one of your par 3s that is, you can see all those bunkers around it. So, man, 195, 195, and 142, and 214. Those are the par 3 distances. Going to be a challenge on those par 3s. And then another par 5 probably around the corner back there. It looks beautiful. Love the blue skies and the backdrop. And then just a nice little view there. Looks like the rough is way down. And then there's a little cut before the green, which is a little bit more fluffy, but it's nice and green. Looks pretty straightforward. Not too much around the greens to get you in trouble. So if you miss the green, just a straight up and down chip. So that's a nice sunset view there. Beautiful. That looks like that par 5 we looked at earlier. Probably a par 4 right here where you're coming in from your second shot. A little downhill, keep it out of the bunkers, well protected up front. Got to hit it long so you stay away from it. Oh, that's beautiful right there. Nice, nice, nice hole going up into the mountains there. Looks like another par 5. So these 2 bunkers right in front of us here, probably landing zone bunkers. You either have to land short of it or fly it and then give yourself a nice second shot into that hole there. Another view. That looks like one of that 293-yard hole right there. Looks pretty simple. I love that you can drive the golf course all over the course. You can see all the golf cart tracks. So it's not rough only, so that's nice. That'll keep the pace of play going. And these are just golf course gurus. So here's another Papago. Just golf course, golf gurus. That's another Papago. Okay, so that's good enough. All right, so with that being said, that is what we will be doing on sorry about that. That's what we'll be doing coming up here on January 19th. So that's the day before Martin Luther King Day. So I'm going out there on the 12th, which is Sunday. I have a meeting Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So I'll spend the night on Friday and Saturday. So we'll go to the range on Friday afternoon. We'll play golf at this course on Saturday. And then what we'll do is we'll tee it up on Sunday. So we have to get at least a practice round in for sure. So I'd like to get some swings in on Friday, work on a few things, get the ball flight going right. Then come out and play around in the morning, hopefully, on that Saturday, the 18th. And then come back in the morning on the 19th, tee it up, play well, see if we can't bring a trophy back from Arizona, and we'll get on stream and give everybody the update once we do that. So that's it, my friends. Event number 4 coming up January 19th, the Papago Championship event at the Papago Golf Course in the city of Phoenix, Arizona. So be interesting how hot it's going to be in January, hopefully in the 70s, and it'll be a nice cool day as compared to the 20s we'll have here in Ohio. So all right, everybody, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching the video. Thank you. If you don't mind, thumbs up would be great. If you're not a subscriber, hey, consider going to the channel, hitting this subscription button, hitting the notification bell. You'll get more content like this. You'll get Golf Clash content. You'll get Golf Clash Rookie, Pro, and Expert content for tournaments. And until then, everybody, thanks so much. God bless. Good luck. And I hope to see you on the course on Monday. See ya.